Okay, so this week when I was watching Raw, I did something I have never done before.
Ooh, this should be interesting.
I watched it again.
Really?
Well, I was so impressed with what I was seeing, I thought I have got to see that again. Specifically the main event. I think that was the best main event I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I was so impressed. I was so impressed with that. With Gold Dust, Cody Rhodes, and going up against for the tag team champions.
Yes.
Going up against the Shield and winning, and exactly how they won. I'm WB Ward,
and I am Chip Douglas
with SCI Wrestling, and you notice I got the initials right. I had to stop and think about it. But man, when I was watching Raw, finally, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, I saw them put on a match that I thought would have been pay-per-view quality. I thought that was just absolutely awesome and one of the best matches that I've ever seen. Did you see it?
Yes.
Really? I'm pleasantly surprised.
Not twice, but I saw it.
Yeah, I loved the introduction of Big Show. It's not so much that it caught me off guard or necessarily surprised me that much. Personally, I kind of found that as predictable as a loose woman at the bar on a Friday night. Okay, but the execution of the performance, I thought the presentations were just absolutely phenomenal. I was impressed,
and you should be.
I just thought that was terribly.
It was very good, very well done. Of course, we're gonna go more into that in the Raw recap with Marcus Hathcock, but it was very tasteful. It was very well done, and kudos not only to the writers but to the performers. I think they did an incredible job being able to tell that story correctly. Big props to the Rhodes brothers, Cody and Dustin. I've always been a Dustin Rhodes fan, so it's really good to see him be able to come back for another run. It's fun. I like it.
I'll tell you what, since they introduced Cody Rhodes, and they brought him first into don't tell me. I know it was with the Chosen One.
Come on.
What was the name
of
the tag team between him? Oh gosh! Don't tell me.
Come on.
Legacy.
There you
Legacy.
go.
I knew I could think of that. I really was not that impressed with him, Randy Orton, and DiBiase Jr.
Correct.
DiBiase Jr. and Orton, okay, I thought those were okay, but with Cody as a heel, it just didn't work for me. Never did. For the first time, I'm a Cody fan.
Ooh, look at that. Cody Rhodes got you sold.
Yes.
Wow.
I've always been a Goldust fan.
Oh, yeah.
Always loved Goldust.
Now, of course, you liked a different part of Goldust, because I know you really enjoyed his work where he had Tourette's.
Yes, I thought that was great.
I wasn't too much of a fan of that, but...
you think that was too politically insensitive?
Yes.
Well, maybe politically insensitive, but that's part of the game. Speaking of the game, we'll be playing a game here in not too long.
Absolutely.
But before we get on to that, since we brought up the subject of political incorrectness, let's go ahead and do this.
Good lead-in.
Thank you very much.
It's going to fit perfect with the tweet of the week.
Isn't it? Okay, here we go.
Hold on.
Now.
Yes.
Okay, so the tweet of the week.
I feel relieved.
The tweet of the week is...
The tweet of the week is brought to you by Will Ferrell Parody.
Ooh.
And it's a knock-knock joke, so I'll play along here, or you can play along.
Okay.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Not the government.
Not the government.
That's it. That's it. I know it's not wrestling related, but I saw it, thought it was funny, and
okay, well, we can handle that. Okay, are we ready to call Mr. Hathcock?
We are, Mr. Marcus Hathcock. We're gonna get ready to get him on the phone and talk some more wrestling.
Okay, let's see if we can get through here.
Yep.
Do. Oh, I hear a ring.
Congratulations, you won $1 million.
That's 2 rings. I feel like we're getting ready to do a prank call. He knows we're calling, right?
Yes, he does.
If I get a voicemail... and we have this solemn oath that we do this...
Hey, it's Marcus.
Oh,
Latest.
Oh, man, you had us worried
At
there
the
for a
tone,
second.
please
no,
record
no,
your
this
message.
is voicemail.
When you have finished recording,
Okay, hold
you may
on.
hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yeah, this here is Ronald DeWitty, and I'm calling about this here bill that we got. We see some charges here that you need to square up. One of the charges is over at Bertha's Barbecue and Brothel for a total of about $342.88. Please give us a call there, Marcus, and let's get this taken care of. Okay.
Trey, call him again.
Okay.
Try it again.
He's going to hate me.
Said it wasn't
Okay.
ringing. It was 2 ringing.
Well, let's try it again. Okay. That was his voicemail. You recognized it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, boys.
Ah, there he is.
There he is.
You're going to love the voicemail I
It
left.
finally came through.
Marcus, I've never asked this before, and Chip has never told me, but are you married?
No, I am not.
Oh, do you have a girlfriend?
Nope, I'm a single man.
Oh, okay.
I'm a wrestling fan. Come on.
Okay. I was just going to say, if you're married or you have a girlfriend, don't let them listen to your email or your voicemail. Now, when you hear this played back on the air, you'll get that joke. How's it been hanging there, Mr. Hathcock?
Nice. Been good, boys. How you been?
Been well. Been very well. We're excited for New Orleans and WrestleMania 30, that's for sure.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked.
Mr. Marcus, did you get a chance to see Monday Night Raw last Monday?
Yeah.
Now, we were talking a little bit before we called you, just as a teaser for the show, and I was making comments concerning the main event. What were your opinions on the main event? And I'm saying this knowing full well that there's no way in the world you could have heard what we were saying.
No. It was interesting. I like the whole Rhodes brothers, but honestly, it didn't hit real big with me.
Really?
To be honest. I like where they're going with it.
So,
But,
so
not
what?
much really
So
to
what
say
about
about
it?
it.
What about it did you not really care for, as far as just the main event?
It's clear. I mean, it's a good feud. It's a good. I don't know. For some reason, it just didn't have main event to me on it. But that's just me.
Wow.
Maybe I was tired.
Wow. Well, and no, that's one of those things where your opinion is your opinion. I mean, if you wish to be a moron all of your life, that's of course your decision. You can do that. But no, personally, I was really impressed by it. But this is the wonderful wide world of professional wrestling. What's going to please one person will not necessarily please everybody else, or anybody else as far as that goes. Because I thought it was one of the best main events I've ever seen myself. And there's no point in, debating the merits of it, because you're not going to like what you're not going to like, and I'm going to love what I'm going to love. But then again, you're single and I'm not. So we'll let that part of it speak for itself. You can have any woman you please, huh?
Well, Marcus, let's see for how long,
funny.
though. That's key.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, now that being said, when we take a look, okay, you want to just go to Chip? You want to just do this rundown in order here?
Let's do it.
What's this Goldberg Warrior Jimmy Superfly Snuka possible legal problems?
Oh,
What
okay.
the hell
Okay.
are you talking about?
You're reading like all of one thing there, or two things there. So since we're going to be at WrestleMania, and over the past couple of shows, Marcus, we've been going over like rumored superstars that were and probably aren't at this point going to be at WrestleMania. So I've started the list of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, and Warrior. All 4 of those have been linked to WrestleMania 30 in some kind of way. I know Stone Cold Steve Austin has been on record to say that he probably won't do anything. And Hogan, we don't know where he's at with TNA. Latest rumors says that he was offered a contract, but WBE was insulted by the offer. And so it looks like that's going to fall through. So out of the 4, who would we most likely would like to see at WrestleMania 30? So that's the question I'm going to open up to Marcus first.
Okay.
So who I most want to see?
Correct.
It's Stone Cold. I got to go with Stone Cold just because it's Stone Cold, if it's going to be Stone Cold, it's probably against CM Punk, and
Correct.
that's a dream match.
Ooh.
And I really couldn't care less about Goldberg, honestly. And the Warrior is, again, I loved him as a kid, but anymore, couldn't care less. So it's Stone Cold for me.
To me, the Warrior, he's just way too much a cartoon character. I mean, if they are going to bring the Warrior back, I hope they have the subtitles running just so we can understand what the hell he's talking about. Now,
Right.
I hate to say this, but I have to agree with you in lines with Goldberg. I thought he was, as a wrestler, and this pains me to say this since Goldberg and I are from the same town, went to high school less than 4 blocks from where our studio is right now. But I really don't care if he shows up.
And of course, I'm the minority in this one, just because the fact that, excuse me, I'm sorry. Back then in the Attitude Era and WCW versus WBE, it was always Goldberg or Stone Cold. And in high school, which is when that took place for me, is you're rather a huge Goldberg fan or a huge Stone Cold fan. And for me, as much as I thought Stone Cold was cool and I respect what he did, I was always kind of that Goldberg fan. I was a huge, huge Goldberg fan. I wore the T-shirts. It scared all the girls away in high school. But that's who I was. I was that Goldberg freak in junior high and high school. So for me, and I do agree with Marcus, if it's Stone Cold versus CM Punk would be a dream. To be able to see that unfold would be amazing. But for me, I would like to see Goldberg personally. I don't know who I'd really want to see him against. I know the ideal that I've heard rumors-wise is Ryback or a rematch with Brock Lesnar to kind of redeem themselves over the horrible WrestleMania 20 match. But to me, I would just love to see. I'd love to be in the stands and chant the Goldberg chant just one more time for me. I only got to see him once in my life, so for me, it's going to be Goldberg. Warrior would be cool, I think, as a run-in at some point. I actually think he'd work better at the Royal Rumble.
I wonder, could he actually, is he in shape enough to run in?
Oh, dude, he's jacked.
Is he?
He's still jacked.
But he cut his hair, so it's not even the same look anymore.
You're right. Yeah, he's basically bald.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, from recent photos, because he did a recent interview with WBE for the WBE 14 game, and yeah, he's like shaved head grade.
Wow.
It is. So I agree with Marcus. It's not the same.
I'm
Royal Rumble surprise entry, I think that would work better for him.
I want to go back to the 80s big hairstyle anyway. I'm keeping it
You
alive.
have it. You have it.
I'm keeping it alive. And actually, I'm trying to go for the 70s look now.
So the next topic I have written down here, and I don't know how much you know about this, Marcus, but apparently they've been really digging in, and this is probably, I don't know if this is news to either one of you guys, but there's a story floating around that's been going around since 1983 of Jimmy Superfly Snuka murdering a lady. Are you familiar with this, Marcus? Hello? Did we lose Marcus?
I can hear a phone line.
We might have lost Marcus.
I can hear the phone line. And according to my pooter, we're still connected.
Oh, well, oh well.
Maybe I'll come back.
We'll call him back.
But no, I have not heard about it.
Yeah, so this is something that I heard about a year ago, to where there was an investigation opened up.
You're going to hear a ring.
Okay. Yeah, he just texted me saying I'm disconnected. With Jimmy Superfly Snuka murdering by strangulation this lady by the name of Nancy Argentino in a hotel room. And the case was opened up for a murder, and the rumor has it that Vince McMahon, because back in 83 when Snuka was pretty hot, Vince McMahon was able to pay the murder off. Now, the reason I bring it up, because a DA's office just opened up this case again because they uncovered some new evidence. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this unfolds for Jimmy Superfly.
Wow, that sounds really, really, really heavy. Go ahead and text him back. Let him know I'm going to try to reconnect. But according to the computer, our chat connection may have been interrupted, so I'm going to have to close this out and reopen it.
Okay.
Boy, live radio, it is such a wonderful thing, and we'll probably hear some skips in the recording because of this. But hey, such is life.
You know.
And as we're going on, with this, so much of real life perils work their way into professional wrestling, and I'm surprised they haven't even turned this into a storyline in somehow or another, because that would certainly make it for an interesting topic. Do you have any information on who it was that he allegedly had killed or anything like that?
As I've read, she was nowhere involved in wrestling, and to my knowledge, I can't confirm this, but so I'm just going based off my memory. But I believe the lady's name is Nancy Argentino, and I believe she was a prostitute.
You believe she was a prostitute? Okay.
And it was in a hotel room. Unfortunately, I still cannot look to see who she actually was. But I know she was no longer affiliated with. She wasn't nowhere affiliated with wrestling. And but the DA office are opening it up to take a fresh look at the case, in parentheses, fresh look, which in attorney terms means they got some new evidence. And so it's going to be really interesting to see where this falls in. Because like I said, the rumors were that Vince McMahon had a lot to do with a cover-up. So...
Not Vince.
So, man, we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how this unfolds. And I'll keep you updated with this.
Okay, now just to give you an update on what's going on with the phone lines here, as I am sitting here at my pooter trying to frantically get Marcus back on the line so you can go ahead and text him and let him know what's going on. But evidently the servers at Google, yay Google, yay, are moving incredibly slow. I was afeared that was my computer or my internet connection, and both of those are okay. Because the only thing that's having a hard time opening up right now is, well, Google. And for those of you wondering what the hell Google has to do with this, well, that's how we're calling Mr. Marcus. That's how we do this wonderful thing we call showbiz. So we're just having to wait for Google to respond. And because until it does, we're kind of up, and see, there's a temporary. So it looks like we're down. We're not down. We may not be down for the count. I will try that again here in just a little while, because we can certainly go on. We may have to. Does this mean we have to hold off on doing our draft?
No,
we can still go ahead and do the draft. It'd be just between you and I.
Worst case scenario, I say we could just pause and wait for him. But let's go ahead and just go into the Raw recap without him.
Okay. We can definitely do that.
So one of the main angles that's been going on is, of course, the angle that's still continuing with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And then now the involvement of HBK. What do you think about that?
Run that by me one more time.
The Orton angle with Daniel Bryan, and now the involvement of Shawn Michaels.
Well, there are so many different twists here that could happen. The writers, I have to give them kudos. I think they done a good thing here, because what they got themselves set up where HBK is so lined up, he could actually go either way. Being a good friend of Triple H, he could do a turn and support Orton.
Right.
Being a friend of Daniel, he could just continue being his friend, or he might just call it straight down the line.
Right.
So that to that extent, I think the writers made a very, very good call on this.
It does leave the storyline very open, which I always love.
Yeah.
Now, do you know the background of Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan?
I know that he had something to do with his training.
He trained Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan went to Shawn Michaels Training Academy down in San Antonio. That's where Daniel Bryan started.
Cool.
So, they have kind of that... father, I won't say father son, but I mean, if I was training someone, that's the relationship that would kind of be. So, he's really kind of torn between, someone that he helped bring into the business and his best friend as in Triple H. So I love that they pulled him into this storyline like they have and have as a special referee, because at this point going into Hell in a Cell, I don't know if he's going to super kick Randy or kick Daniel Orton. And so that leaves the level of interest in me.
Oh, a prediction just came to my mind.
Oh, go ahead.
A prediction just came to my mind. Here's what I think will happen. Now this is all going to be in a cell, right?
Okay, yes.
I think the match is going to be underway. HBK is going to be calling it right down the line, and coming from the back will be Triple H.
Okay.
Because he's not going to like the fact, even though he's his buddy, he's not going to like the fact that HBK is indeed calling it right down the line.
Right.
HBK will enter the cage. Or Triple H will enter the cage to try to interfere, since it is no disqualification, obviously.
Right.
But and being the head honcho on site, Triple H will have a key to the cage. He will go in the cage. He will get sweet chin music from HBK, his only friend, and Daniel Bryan will be declared the winner.
I like it.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I like it.
That's my
prediction. I think it'd be a good close, and also that could really set up maybe a Shawn Michaels Triple H feud. Maybe them two could wrestle at WrestleMania 30. I think that would still draw.
Yeah, but Shawn is retired.
Yeah, but what's that really mean in wrestling? Ric Flair retired like 19 times, and Terry Funk worse than Ric Flair. He's wrestling again. I mean, that guy is like almost 70 years old. So retirement in wrestling doesn't mean anything, especially when it comes to a huge payoff of
they can't do that. They really can't do that. And I know I'm asking the writers to have some integrity here, and it's just not for the matter of them having integrity. It's not just that. But they can't be pulling wrestlers out of retirement once they've retired. They cannot do that, because after a while, it's going to get to the point, if it hasn't already happened, when a wrestler goes into retirement or announces in retirement, and then the whole crowd goes, we've seen this before.
Yep.
So they cannot go down to that well too much more often. Too much more often. That's yeah, I went to public schools.
Yeah, I did too, so I can't really complain with
the
you there.
server is still moving slow. I've seen continents drift quicker than this.
Well, let's go ahead and let's just pause the show for a minute,
okay.
And let's get reconnected with Marcus, and then SCI listeners, we will be back.
Yeah, they're not even going to know we were gone. For the first time, we actually stopped recording. We've never done that before.
Uh-oh.
And I think Marcus, we got you back. We had some problems with Giggle there.
Damn Giggle.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Okay, we've been talking about you behind your back while you were gone.
I believe it.
And the thing of it is, when
I forgot what I was. Sorry, go.
Go ahead.
I forgot what main event I was talking about. I thought anyway. I did think it was great.
Well,
but I like the Battleground win better.
Yeah. The only thing about it is, when people listen to the recording now, they're going to wonder, what the hell are we talking about? Because they're not going to really hear any time difference of when there was actually a period of time there, ladies and gentlemen, when you'd stop the show for a good 5 or 10 minutes while we waited for Google to finally get around going, oh, we got to work now.
Right.
So right now, Marcus, now we're stalling a little bit because we have to wait a little bit for our theme music to come up to do what it is, though. What the hell we want to do this
Yes.
week.
So just to let the viewers in, we've been promoting this for a couple weeks now, and this week we're actually going to be able to do it. We're going to do a fantasy brand split. So Bill. I'm sorry, WB. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I broke kayfabe.
That's what the bill that's what the B means. So you're okay.
WB is going to represent one organization, and then Mr. Marcus Hathcock, which will work on a nickname for you, buddy, will represent another brand. Now, I couldn't find a coin, but I did find a beer cap. So the beer cap's going to represent the coin. And so while we're waiting, I'm gonna go and flip the coin, and what we're going to do, this is going to decide who's going to pick first.
Okay.
And whoever doesn't pick first will get to choose what brand they represent. So that way it's a little bit fair. Okay. All right. So give me just a second here. Marcus, I'll let you call it heads or tails.
Heads.
He wants head.
Hold on.
It sounds.
I messed that up.
It sounds like an Al Snow promotion.
All right, it's heads. All right, so Marcus, do you want to pick the brand or do you want to pick first?
I will pick first.
All right. So he's going to pick first. WB, who do you want to represent, Raw or SmackDown?
No. Just hold those horses. I worked hard putting this music in, so hang on just a second.
Oh,
I'm gonna roll some music here.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Yes. All right.
Okay, now we can continue.
All right, so
Now I'm in the mood.
all right, so what brand are you going to represent, WB?
Can I make up one, or does it have to be SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown or Raw?
I'm doing Raw.
Okay, so WB is going to be Raw. Marcus is going to represent SmackDown. Now,
I
Marcus,
like my wrestling like all my women. Raw.
So I did hear Marcus say about the Hall of Fame pick, and yes, we will be able to choose one living Hall of Fame pick. So technically, we're gonna have 11 picks here, and he's gonna kind of represent who you are as an organization. You can use them for however you would in your fantasy lineup. So yes, your last pick you choose will be a Hall of Fame pick. So just FYI to UWB, because I did not tell you that ahead of time.
Okay.
All right, so as we gear up, the rules are you make your pick, give me a quick 20 to 30 second reason why you would pick that person and what you plan on using that person for. And as soon as that pick is done, then we'll move on to the next pick. Also, tag teams count as one pick. So if you choose the primetime players, you get 2 wrestlers for the price of 1. So that's the way tag teams are going to work. Now, it has to be a legit tag team. It can't be I choose Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan as a tag team. It has to be a legit tag team. Clear? Are we clear on that rule?
Yes.
Marcus, are you there? Okay.
One question though. What do we do during this draft if the actual tag team that we pick splits up?
Well, let's not worry about that. This is all fantasy. I don't think they're going to split up by the time this video or this our show comes out. So I think we're okay.
Okay, let's move this thing along. So who does what first?
All right. So since since Marcus won the coin toss, he chooses first. Go ahead, Marcus.
Okay. You're going to hate me. First pick, of course, we're going John Cena. I can't do it any other way.
Wow. All right.
Hey, reason being, here it is. He is the face of wrestling, regardless of what anybody says or likes him or not. He's the biggest moneymaker. Plus, he does put on good, high-profile matches at any event. He's proven. He's still young. He's going for a long time. Big name. Cena's first pick. Of course he was.
I like it. All right.
Okay.
You're up next, WB.
Now, do they have to be current talent?
Yes, they do have to be current talent.
Well, in that case, we got to go with Big Show.
All right.
Got to go with Big Show. He is current talent, regardless of the storyline, because by golly, I don't care what they would have you believe, he is still under contract. And I'm going to pick him because he's big, and I'm going to use him in a big way.
All right. All right. Move on to the second round. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Well, since he's still under roster, he's still very rarely used, but I'm going with Undertaker.
Wow. Okay.
And here's why. It goes into my first pick, because we're doing Undertaker and Cena at WrestleMania, SmackDown main event, heavyweight championship. We're doing it.
Ooh, WB. Ooh, he's in the storyline on thick.
He is.
All right, with your second round pick, go ahead, WB.
My second round pick is going to have to be Triple H himself.
Oh.
Triple H himself. Because so far, Triple H has one thing that the other guys cannot say. He's one of the few people to be listed as a defeat against Goldberg.
Oh, okay.
Even though he's never faced him on a one-on-one situation, he did defeat him in one of the pay-per-views in a not a Hell in the Cell. It was let me think. Okay, the game it was in the Elimination Chamber in SummerSlam of 2003.
Okay.
Triple H did defeat him in that, but he's never had him on one-on-one competition. But Triple H for me.
Okay, so Triple H second round pick. Marcus Hathcock, third round. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're doing this. I'm going with the first tag team in the draft, and I am taking Cesaro and Swagger.
Wow.
The real Americans.
Yes, and I will reserve Y for a few picks down.
Okay. All right, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, I already know why, because Marcus wants to help people across the border.
Well, that too.
All right, WB, go ahead.
The following announcement was brought to you by Taco Bell. The
Third round pick. Go ahead.
Okay, if I have to pick somebody could Kevin Nash be considered current?
No.
Oh, damn. Bret Hart?
No.
Oh, Booker T.
Oh, no.
Booker T is current talent. He's under contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's there.
He's under contract.
Okay. All right.
And my reason is because he has faced Goldberg in the one-on-one competition, and he has beat Goldberg in one-on-one competition.
I'm starting to pick up a theme.
Yes.
Oh,
The
wow.
personal attack team.
Oh, wow. Okay. With the fourth round pick, Marcus, go ahead.
All right. Well, I can't believe still here. I'm taking CM Punk.
Wow. Fourth round.
You can have him.
Oh, wow.
You can have him.
Oh. Well, okay, here's why. Why not? Fourth round pick and he's still open. CM Punk is another one. If we're talking, you're looking to make the best roster, selling T-shirts, making money, good feuds. Every fan base likes him. Kids like him, women like him, guys. Me and Chip Sage like him. Older men, no offense, WB, love him. Well, maybe not you yourself, but everybody loves him.
Older men. No, that's true.
He has a point there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll have to concede to that. I've got skid marks on my underwear that's older than you two put together. So. Here, now try to shake that
like
image.
bacon.
Try to shake that image from your head.
Like bacon, you brown one side then the other.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot to say, before you make your pick, the winner the loser of this draft has to buy first round of drinks for the winner and the judge down in New Orleans. All right, so I'm just throwing that out there right now.
I'm going to surprise the crap out of both of you with my next selection.
Okay.
Paul Heyman.
Whoa.
Paul Heyman. And the reason you've got to allow it, first off, he's under contract. And second off, even though he's not recognized as a wrestler, he has wrestled and he's getting ready to wrestle.
I'll take it.
And the reason why I want to bring him together is even though Big Show, Triple H, and Booker T really don't have a whole lot in common, what personality in professional wrestling could be used to bring these guys together under a unified front?
Ooh.
So there you go.
Okay.
That's my reasoning.
Okay. All right. The theme's changing. I like it. All
and
right.
by the way, for the record, Paul Heyman has never faced Goldberg.
Yeah, see, I think you're right there. All right, SmackDown, fifth round pick, General Manager Marcus Hathcock. Go ahead. I think I'm gonna call you the Beaver. Does that work? I don't know why. That just kind of popped in my head.
Oh, interesting.
I won't do it. Fifth round pick, SmackDown. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going with Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
And
Now wait a minute. Are we picking a tag team here or just the person?
just Bray.
Okay.
And I'm going to distance Bray away from them. And the reason why is I'm going back to my fourth round pick, Punk, and I'm going to get Bray in a real high profile feud with someone like CM Punk. And it may seem like a weird feud, but we could get it done over on the SmackDown brand.
All right, awesome. Fifth round pick.
Okay.
WB, it's your turn.
Now I cannot
Representing Raw.
I cannot pick Scott Steiner, huh?
Scott Steiner?
Yeah.
Why on earth would you choose Scott Steiner in the first place?
Because Scott Steiner has defeated Goldberg in one-on-one competition. That's why.
No, Scott Steiner's off the board.
Okay. But he has defeated Goldberg.
Sure.
Okay, well, if I can't use the people I really want to pick, if I can't do that, then I'm going to have to go with Ryback.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
And as for why, do I really have to say why?
Yes.
Ryback should say it all.
That's it?
That's it, because he's Ryback.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, seriously, just forget Booker T and Paul Heyman. Put Big Show, Triple H, and Ryback on the same team.
All right.
Come on.
All right. 6th round. SmackDown. Go ahead.
okay. You know what? We're going to strike while the iron's hot. We're taking the newest tag team around. We're taking the Rhodes Brothers.
Oh. Rhodes Brothers. It
And-
sounds like a furniture store.
Yeah, it does.
Right. It probably is.
Yeah.
We're going to, I've already got the other tag team, but right now, like I said in a few shows ago, I love Goldust. I think he's awesome. I've
Yes.
always thought Cody is a breakout star,
Mhm.
and this is a good tag team. And you got him with Cesaro and Swagger. Again, this is not my reason for Cesaro and Swagger. That's
Ooh.
coming later.
Oh,
but
awesome.
the Rhodes Brothers.
Okay, now I'm curious here, Marcus. Are you going to keep Cody a face or a heel? Or do you want to say?
For now, they're gonna. Well, that's not. They're gonna stay face because Cesaro and Swagger are heels. But at some point, you gotta turn. Actually, you know what? No, I'm turning Goldust heel. We're gonna shock the world.
Okay.
Goldust is going heel. He was best as a heel, and he's gonna totally turn on his brother. And even Dusty's gonna turn on Cody for all the stuff that he did in. Not Legacy. There it is.
Yeah. Wow.
There it is.
Yeah, I was trying to remember that.
Coming
earlier
together.
myself.
All right. All right. WB,
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. You have some ground to make up, my friend.
Yes, I know, and I think I'm getting ready to throw Hathcock a real curve here. The Beaver. I'm going to throw the Beaver a curve.
Go ahead.
You meant that as in leave it to Beaver, right?
No. I'll be honest. I just came to my head. He doesn't resemble a beaver at all.
Boy, I'm going to have a long talk with you. Okay.
You know why? Because we were talking before the show had 2 beavers are better than 1.
Oh, that's true.
That's never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the curveball I'm throwing the Beav. I want the Shield.
Oh, there we go. All right.
And come on,
Okay.
a three-way tag team with this kind of power, and so far with this amazing track record that they have, and being some decent performers. I didn't like them, but boy, I've really warmed up to them. I can bring them in, and under the direction of Paul Heyman, and working in concert with the other talent that we already have on here. What you have is an entire team of champions that would make the Undertaker cry like a 12-year-old girl.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. We're throwing the words out. I like it. All right, SmackDown,
Okay.
round 7. Go ahead.
All right, this will be it's current, and you know what? This will be my big surprise for people because I'm going to draft him, and no one's going to know when it's going to happen. But Chris Jericho is going to appear on a SmackDown roster.
Wow.
Wait a minute, is he currently under contract?
Yes.
He is? Okay,
Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, he is current on WWE contract. All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Well, Chris Jericho.
Reason why?
Oh,
Chris Jericho, and the reason being, people know he'll be showing up. They just don't know when, and he's coming in big whenever.
All right, WB.
AJ Lee.
Seriously?
Absolutely. AJ Lee. I want her. I want her because as we're watching my team beat the crap out of these little do-gooders that he's picking, I'm just going to want to have somebody to sit on my lap.
All right. I'll be honest. You got some extra points there just because of that. You know, man, it's man props right there.
Yes.
Man points. All right. See you round 8 SmackDown. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to bring it all around to the Cesaro Swagger pick, and the Chip, you are going to know exactly why, but I'll do a little explaining.
Okay.
I'm going with an NXT guy, and I'm going with Cassius Ohno.
Yes.
Okay, now you're treading on ground. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
The thing is, Cassius Ohno, the former Chris Hero, and Antonio Cesaro were Ring of Honor tag champions together. This is going to bring them together and turn it on Swagger.
Uh-huh.
And this is that feud that I'm coming in with there. Cesaro and Ono come in against Swagger. I think I'm turning Swagger face. See if you can get a little buzz that way.
Now, for WB, who he never really kept up with Ring of Honor,
No.
But Cesaro and Cassius Ohno, who's in NXT, in my opinion, were one of the best. Well, at the time, they were the best tag team in wrestling. There was no tag team that could match up to them two. They were phenomenal, and I think they actually did a dark match together to see if it would work out, and they got a huge reaction. But I think Ono right now in NXT is having some political problems, which is why he's still down in NXT, because he's still one of the prime best candidates down in NXT to be moved up to the main roster, because he's been doing this for a long time. So just give you a little quick background there, WB.
Okay.
WB representing Raw, 8th round pick. Go ahead.
Okay, this next, I'm going to pick another tag team here. And I know they really haven't been using these guys a lot, but boy, I tell you, I don't think they've been using them right. Because I think one thing about WWE creative is the phrase WWE and creative really should not even be in the same sentence, let alone in the same title, because I think the only thing original these guys ever had was less swirling in a toilet bowl. But I have to reach out, and I'm going to have to pick the Usos, because I think they have so much untapped ability there that I think I can bring them up to speed.
All right, round 9.
That's a good pick.
Round 9, SmackDown. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going with Dolph Ziggler, and here's why. If it weren't for an ill-timed concussion, he would be still one of the hottest things going in WWE. He just lost a lot of momentum real quick, and we're bringing it back over here. He's going to be going up against CM Punks and Cena's again, and we're bringing Dolph Ziggler back.
Oh, man, I wish I had picked Ziggler.
Wow.
I really do. Okay, you got a good one. You did say Dolph Ziggler, right?
Yes.
You bastard.
Yep.
Round 9, Raw. Go ahead.
Okay, just a minute. I'm writing these down too, and I know you guys are as well. But we're going to keep this on the level. Okay, my next pick. Okay, things are starting to get a bit slim. Sweet tea. I want sweet tea.
Not the tag team, just Sweet Tea.
Just sweet tea.
Oh, okay.
Now, Brodus, I think, I'm sorry to say, because I really like his character, and I think he has also potential, but I think he's pretty well ran his day.
Okay. But go ahead. The reason why I'm really curious about this one.
Sweet tea. I tell you what, you talk about a guy that's got champion written all over him. It is sweet tea.
Okay.
Have you ever studied any of the Asian language?
No.
Have you ever studied it, Mr. Beaver?
Beaver? Yeah.
You have?
Heck, yeah. We did Japanese. I'm from Hawaii, so yeah.
Oh, that's right. You would have. Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
you've seen the tattoos on Sweet Tea when they brought him back as Tensai. And I said he's got champion written all over him. What do you think that means?
Oh, does he actually have that?
I don't know. I was just making that up.
So is that the angle that you would go with?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
He's
All
got
right.
champion written all over him.
Are you keeping them Sweet Tea, or are you going to make them A-Train again?
We'll probably go back to A-Train.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sweet,
There you go.
All right.
Sweet
There
tea.
you go.
Sweet tea is a bit. Well, let's just. Yeah, well, I'm not going to comment, but yeah, we'll go back to A-Train.
Round 10, SmackDown. Go ahead.
Okay. I want somebody that. Okay. I like this guy. I want to make this guy. He's in a class of champions here, and I'm going to make this guy again. Really, he's never been this big. We're going to make Barrett a star. Wade Barrett.
Oh, you bastard. Wade Barrett. Good choice.
Now, I'm going to save my questions for the end because I do have some open questions for you guys, but I'm going to save those for the end. But round 10, Now, this is your last draft pick as far as the main roster goes. The last pick, the 11th pick, is the Hall of Fame pick. So go ahead, WB. This is it for you.
My last pick. I'm willing to go out on a limb and pick somebody just because of the pump they've been given and what the possibilities are that for storylines that could come would be Los Matadores.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Los Matadores.
And
Do you guys like them?
I like the idea of them. If they treat the...
I do too. I like them.
If they treat the storyline, if they treat the characters with some respect, they might have to get rid of the little guy. But I think they could make this thing a go.
I like them. They're good.
all right, last but not least, this is your Hall of Fame pick. You could choose anyone that's in the WBE Hall of Fame that's alive and that would be useful. That's what I'm looking for. You can't choose, Mr. Perfect because he won't be able to do anything for you because he's not alive. So, as much as I would love to see him alive, can't do it.
Put them down on strings.
Exactly.
Does their career have to be alive?
Not really. They just have to be alive. Okay. So, Marcus, round 11, Hall of Fame pick. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we kind of talked about it earlier, and I already set up a Cena-Undertaker big match. My other big match for WrestleMania, Stone Cold going against CM Punk.
Oh!
Okay. You scared me. I thought you were going to pick my Hall of Famer.
Oh!
So your Hall of Famer is going to be Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Okay.
My Hall of Famer, and I'm surprised you didn't go for this. Just a second, I'm typing in Stone Cold loser. Okay. My pick is going to be HBK.
And why is that?
Heartbreak Kid. I'm surprised we haven't even included him as part of our roster.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, come on. You talk about somebody that's still got it. He can still perform. He can still wrestle, and he does a better promo than just about anybody else that who lives.
Okay.
I almost went with JBL.
Oh, that would have been a decent one.
Well, but
actually, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I was just going to say, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
And see, I was going to pick that because I didn't understand the rules. I thought we were going to pick somebody to be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
But now that I understand the rules,
right.
We'll go with HBK.
Okay, WB, quickly tell me how much time we got.
We have, he says as he looks, we got roughly about 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so some quick questions. Marcus, I'll start with you first. Who would you eventually come in as your champion, or what match would you set up to declare your champion on SmackDown?
If you're coming right off the draft, I start up a quick four-man tourney with, let's say, Cena, Punk, Wade Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler. And you know what? I have Cena take it to start.
Okay. And how long would you let him hold that?
One pay-per-view. Cena's losing at one pay-per-view. Because we're going to make somebody. We're making Wade Barrett, and he's beating Cena in one shot.
Okay. All right. WB representing Raw.
Uh-huh.
You've referenced this Paul Heyman group.
Uh-huh.
Who would you have in your roster go against Heyman's group?
Going against the Heyman's group is going to have to be probably A-Train and the Usos.
Really?
Well, come on. Look at all the power that we have in there. I mean, because the Los Matadores, those are okay. They're okay guys. But if you're going against the Paul Heyman group of Paul Heyman with the Big Show and Triple H and Booker T, you can't have any lightweights in there. No lightweights are going to work. Maybe AJ Lee thrown in there for a little added distraction, but we're going to have some heavyweights in there with the Usos and A-Train.
Now, for Marcus's second question here, for Stone Cold Steve Austin, where would you bring him in at? As far as if you had every option pay-per-view wise, where would you bring him in at?
I would bring him in probably at the Rumble, not to wrestle, but to do some sort of, like, he's there, not guest hosting, but he's there. And that's the first interaction with him and Punk. And We bring him in, we start the feud there, and then his first real match is going to be Punk Stone Cold.
Okay. All right. WB, last question here. Same question as Marcus had the first time. Who would you declare your champ, or what would you set up to label your champion on the Raw roster?
What would I set up to label the champion?
Yeah, who would you choose? Who would you match up? Yeah.
Who would I choose to be the champion?
Yeah, to represent your brand for future reference.
That's going to be Big Show.
Big Show?
Absolutely no question in my mind. Best performer by far. I think of all of the picks on here, all due respect to Marcus, because he had some darn good picks in there. But as far as performer and the ability to sell, you cannot outshine Big Show. You just cannot outshine him. Maybe Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman may be able to outshine him as far as selling an idea.
Okay.
But Big Show is the best ring delivery I've ever seen.
All right. Now, as I think this out on who we're going to choose, I do want to bring up a couple of people that you guys did not choose. I'm actually kind of surprised. One, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was not picked by either brand.
No big surprise here.
What about you, Marcus?
Yeah. I kept looking and I kept going, well, he's still there, and I had all his faces. I had to start picking some heels.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of heels, Randy Orton. Neither one of him. He wasn't picked by neither one of you.
Well, you know how
He's boring.
You know how a lot of people feel about John Cena?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Orton.
Ooh.
Enough already.
Ooh.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. All right. Good job, guys. I'll be honest. Good job on both fronts. Those were the two names that really kind of popped out to me that neither one of you guys picked. Overall, Raw's brand is, to say the least, interesting. I think WB made some surprise picks, that is for sure.
Yes.
With Sweet Tea, that's actually, I would say, one of the sleeper picks in the whole draft.
No question.
Just because of the fact that I am a huge Japanese wrestling fan. I saw what Giant Bernard, which was his name in All Japan, is able to do physically as a wrestler. He's a great performer. He has that power. So to me, that's actually one of those sleeper picks that you're able to do. As far as Miss goes, Blas Matadores, that's the weak one. As far as Marcus, the strength to me had to have been when he chose the Real Americans with Cassius Ohno. I thought that was great. And the last one, and the one that I wasn't too fond of, was Wade Barrett, just because of the fact that I'm not a Wade Barrett fan.
Oh, I thought you were going to slam me for picking AJ.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Because you're the only one that chose a diva.
That's true.
That's the reason why. So, the winner of the 2014 draft is going to be Marcus Hathcock, the Beaver.
Oh.
So, WB.
Beaver.
So, WB, make sure you save your money because you're buying at least a drink for Marcus and I in New Orleans at WrestleMania 30.
But you know what I got that neither one of you two had?
What?
AJ on my lap. She makes
You show up with AJ and I will buy the first round.
I'll buy the whole night.
She makes my pants crowded. Yeah. Oh, got to keep this PG.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcus, thanks a lot for joining us this week, man. Really do appreciate that. That's about wraps it up for the first draft pick right here at SCI Wrestling. Tune in to us next week and find out what's going on in the wonderful, wacky world of pro wrestling on